everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Raluca, and I'm the Chief Product Officer at Nestor. And today I'm really happy to announce that we are launching our interview series. And what we will be discussing in here is that how coaching actually could help us be happier and more aware of our potential. And most importantly, how this applies into our day-to-day activities. Our aim is to bring you fresh information with the help of certified and experienced professionals in the field. And today I'm really happy to have Kmetova with us, and we will be discussing about coaching and how this could be applied as a powerful leadership tool. Anna, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited about today's conversation.
Hello everyone. Hi Raluca. Thank you very much for having me. I'm really eager to have this conversation about coaching with you today.
Great. Before diving into today's topics, let's say, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm really looking to learn more about yourself, and what are those reasons that made you so passionate about coaching?
Sure. So I am a life and career coach based in Amsterdam, and my main focus lies in empowering individuals to create their unique, fulfilling life and career path. And I'm also a workshop facilitator, and I'm supporting companies in implementing coaching culture. And what makes me very passionate about coaching is the transformation it brings, and everything we are going to talk about today in this interview.
Great. Let's start with coaching as a concept and why it's becoming a thing today. It's not being so popular right now, and I'm really keen to understand what is happening behind the scenes. What's your opinion on this?
Okay, so what is happening behind the scenes is that millennials, which is a new generation of young professionals between 20 and 39 years old, are currently forming 50% of the global workforce. And this generation has completely different expectations from their job, from their employers, than the generation before them. So, of course, everyone is partially driven by salary, but this new generation is mostly driven by their values and the contribution they are actually bringing. So it's very important for them to know what is the contribution of the role they are fulfilling within the company, and what is the alignment between their personal values and the values of the company they are working for. And they also want to be recognized for their uniqueness, for their strengths, and they basically want to do something they are really good at and passionate about.
And coaching can be applied as practices within companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are those practices that we can actually do at work in order to start coaching?
Okay, so bringing coaching culture into the workplace is much easier and more accessible than you might think. It's not only about having one-on-one coaching conversations, it can be just enabling the shift of the communication that is happening within the workplace. So instead of telling your employees what to do and how to do it, you can shift the energy by asking more questions. So in coaching, we use a special kind of questions called powerful questions. And these are open questions that really empower people to explore what is possible in certain situations and find their own solutions to the challenges, using their strengths, being creative. And this is very motivating and empowering for people. So this is sorry.
Questions. Could you tell us some examples, like one or two questions that we can ask, and if we need to structure things in some way in order for us to better apply this coaching concept during discussions?
Okay, sure. So I wrote some articles about powerful questions. Feel free to Google me, Kmetova powerful questions. because this is a topic people are very curious about. What is the difference between a normal question and a powerful question? So this question is more open, basically. So it starts with words like where, when, what. So it really brings the space. So I will give you an example. Let's imagine you would like your team member to approach certain challenge in a different way. So instead of asking, why did you approach it this way? You can shift the power in the question and ask, which part of the challenge do you find important? So it may sound like you are asking about something completely different, but the result will be more or less the same. It actually gives the person power to really explore. So what part of the challenge did not go as I expected and what could be adjusted? If you ask questions starting with why, it really brings the person who is being asked into the defense. I need to defend my decision. So it shuts them down. It doesn't give the space to really explore what could be improved.
Wow, that's amazing. And we can start actually not removing, but start understanding how we can reinterpret the why from our questions.
Exactly. And why is just one example, one of examples. What people often also do is to ask closed questions. So do you want to do A or B? So why not use what do you think would be the best approach in this situation? It's very different.
Yeah, great. What about one-on-ones? Are there any structures that we can use in order for us to get the most out of this one-on-one? And actually, are some things that we can consider in order for us to make the discussion more effective?
Absolutely. So should you decide to go for one-on-one coaching sessions with your team, of course, there are certain coaching tools that you learn as a manager so that you can provide this coaching, you can really facilitate it. And coaching itself is a relationship. So I assume you are going to meet on a regular basis. It's not just one coaching session, but you are going to meet every 2 weeks or every month. So I think it's very important to set the rules for the relationship. What do you expect from each other? What are the rules for confidentiality? What are the goals of the coaching? And then based on this, you can start really setting milestones. What do you want to achieve together? And this way, if you are using certain system, you can also track where you are with your goals. So when you are starting implementing coaching, you don't really need to purchase expensive system. You can just use a simple Google Sheet. But if you have a system, for example, like Nestor, you can really see the numbers, you can really see the progress, where your employees are with their coaching, what is the impact, what are the results. And this way, it's also more tangible.
Yeah. And you are telling us about coaching actually is building a relationship, which is so important when um, when we are working with our teammates. We need to trust them. We need to trust our leaders. Actually, what happens in terms of confidentiality when we are discussing about ourselves and trying to share things from our personal life, our weaknesses, things that maybe we need to pay attention on, what we can share and what we cannot share with the company, because yeah, we were discussing about the privacy rules, what we shouldn't be sharing because it's not ethical, let's say.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy you are asking about this, Raluca, because this is so important. As a coach, I'm personally a member of International Coach Federation, and there are indeed very strict rules for confidentiality when it comes to coaching. So in general, if I should give you a rule, the coaching conversation itself should not be shared with anyone outside of the conversation, unless explicitly agreed otherwise, but it's usually not the case. It's very important that the person who is being coached feels completely free to explore and talk about anything that needs to be spoke about. So coaching relationship is confidential. However, I assume if you have a company and you are implementing coaching sessions, you want to know what are the results. Is it worth our time and our money to maintain coaching? So if you are using systems such as Nestor, you can see the results. You can track how are employees doing with achieving their goals. And these numbers are not shared per person. It is very important that you share it company-wise. So you get the number for the whole company, but not for individuals or the teams. And this is for confidentiality reasons.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to learn more about your experience and actually what surprised you the most when you were coaching your clients? What is that aha moment for you, if you have one?
I have many of them. Maybe you expect me to tell you some crazy story, but actually what surprised me really the most in coaching was how little are we aware of our personal values, how little are people aware of their strengths, and how huge the transformation can be once we discover what these things are. So this is what coaching can really create for people, and this is fascinating for me and surprising every single day ever since I started.
Nice. Um, so you mostly are coaching individuals, and you help them unleash, let's say, their full potential. From your point of view, what is the applicability for teams? There any benefits in this direction that we can take in order to apply coaching? What's your opinion on this?
Sure. So from my experience, as you said, I'm coaching individuals. If you know that the person is growing and every single team member is being coached, your team members are growing. They are more connected to what they are doing and when they are going. They feel more responsibility for their role. And this usually really improves the cooperation. So people are more aware of their own power. They are not having victim mentality anymore. They are not blaming their surroundings. They are really empowered and owners of their own development. They are owning their strengths as well, which really improves the cooperation between the team members. And from the manager's perspective, if you are coaching your team, you know these people from different angle. You know what they want, you know what their strengths are, and this also enables you to manage them better. So it really creates a great synergy and high performing teams, even if coaching is implemented really well.
Yeah. You were mentioning high performing teams. You were mentioning about at some point that we can lead them better. Are there any metrics that could help us to understand that yes, we are on the right path, we are doing the right things? What what are those things that maybe we can actually use as quantitative things and not only qualitative, if you understand what I'm meaning?
Yeah. If you need really something tangible to measure the results of the coaching,
Yeah.
what you can do as a company is to measure employee satisfaction,
Okay.
which from my experience it really increases significantly with coaching. And what you also can measure are the results of each coaching relationship. So if you are using a system, you can download the data for the whole company and see where your employees are with their goals. What is the promotion rate? You can really see if the employees are growing. So these are the measurable things you can really see.
Nice. And if we are in the position to understand actually, is this coaching concept so let's say urgent in order to apply as of today, what would be your advice in this direction? Why we should apply these practices as of today, and what are the long-term benefits for a company? And not only for a company, also for us as individuals.
Yeah, it's really urgent. It's really urgent because these days people have many opportunities, and you can probably imagine if you are a successful company, even then it's very hard to get the right employees, the people with the right skill set, with the right mindset, with the company culture alignment. And once you get these employees, it's even harder to maintain their engagement. And coaching is a great tool to do this because it supports the alignment between their personal values, their role in the company, their desired growth, their self-awareness, their team cooperation, their overall employee satisfaction. So rather than compensating them with the bonuses such as vouchers for restaurants, I would strongly recommend to implement coaching instead, because it's also a personal benefit for each person.
Yeah.
They really feel it.
Mm-hmm. And so if I'm taking this right, it's like coaching is really helping during or having powerful conversation into balancing these business objectives with also personal development, and making this simultaneously in order for the individual to understand, hey, I'm doing this because first of all I'm doing for me, and after that it helps me grow in my career and help this company to achieve this business goal. This is the thing that we need to understand from here.
Absolutely. So if you go to work, you don't necessarily need to be a different person. You don't necessarily need to sacrifice your time just with in exchange for your salary. You can really go there fully with all your personal goals, all your personal values. And once you know how they contribute and how you use them in your daily job, you can really find a great synergy and personal satisfaction.
Great. Anna, thank you so much for your time. It was great sharing these opinions and learning more on how coaching could be used as a powerful leadership tool. If would be in the position to conclude to something, my take on this would be like, we as individuals, we are not working for money. We start identifying our own values with actually the purpose of the company, the vision, the mission. And we love working in a place where the trust is so important, and our leaders empower us to do things, and they not tell us how to do things, but actually are the best things for us. And of course self-leadership, which is so important. um, Thank you so much for this conversation. It was great having you today. And I would really love to meet again and talk about other things or practices that we actually can apply at work. Thank you. What can I say?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It was very nice to talk to you. If you want to know more about coaching or coaching culture, feel free to visit my website or get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and I will be happy to answer all your questions.
Great. Thank you. And see you next time.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.